Everyone knows that when we talk about Souls-like genre, From Software games are the first thing that comes to our mind. Did they invent the genre? No. But they elevated it so much that they kinda own it. Over the past few years, studios tried to imitate what From Software did and carving their own path with games like Mortal Shell, Neo, Remnant, and so on. Even though they had some success, they really couldn't grasp what From Software was offering until some random South Korean studio made Lies of P. I already did a full review of the game, so if you want to, make sure to check it out. In this video, I'm mainly going to talk about the impact of Lies of P on the Souls-like genre, so please bear with me for a moment. I and many others consider Lies of P a mix of Bloodborne and Sekiro. They somehow combine the deflect mechanic in Sekiro with the rally mechanic from Bloodborne, which I think these were what made those games special. These doesn't necessarily mean that Rounded Studios just straight up copied from those games. They put their own twist on the game with their weapon assembling system, healing recovery, Legion arm, P-organ, grindstones, and so on. I just have to say that copying something that works is fine in my opinion. Players may complain a little, but they appreciate the game no matter what. I myself rather play a copycat game than something like Mortal Shell again. So, how does Lies of P rank next to From Software games? Is it better? Is it worse? All I know for sure is that it's better than Dark Souls 2. Any game is, to be honest. But if we remove Dark Souls 2 from the equation, it becomes very subjective depending on players' own opinion. In my opinion, Lies of P is a difficult game. It may be even more difficult than Elden Ring or Sekiro. And in general, I don't think making a game unnecessarily more difficult makes it better. Developers think that by just confronting players with unfairly challenging material makes their game better and more popular, which is wrong. Let me give you an example. In Sekiro, you confront Sword Saint Ishin as the final boss of the game. It's arguably one of the hardest bosses in the franchise. Every player spends lots of hours on this guy, and if you ask those same players, 95% of them had one of their best gaming moments in that fight. The wheat field, the music, dialogues, fighting mechanics, the sounds of swords clashing into each other were all just perfection. That was what made it enjoyable. In comparison, you have someone like Simon Manus, which as a main villain is kind of a letdown. Boss arena is nothing special, and the fight itself doesn't deliver on any ends. But this doesn't make Lies of P bad at all. I think it's one of the most polished Souls-likes we've ever had. It has a long way to reach that From Software status, yet it's the closest anyone has ever came. This simply shows how From Software games were ahead of their own time. Dark Souls 1 has one of the best area designs of all games in general. Everywhere you go, it leads to Firelink Shrine, which I think is very cool. The art design in Lies of P is something that we should praise them for. It's steps ahead from games that are being made in this generation. It's even nominated for the best art direction for this year's Game Awards. Be sure to vote for it if you enjoyed it as much as I did. But Lies of P is a sign that the next generation of Souls-like games can be good. And it won't be just Miyazaki dominating the scene with their games. With DLC and sequel confirmed, I really have high hopes for improvements to an already amazing game. What do you think about the state of the genre? Comment it down below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe so I could get out of my mother's basement.